what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to my F1 Road to Glory series here for season number 3 in 2020. So, we've had season number 1 with the 2019 mod, season number 2 on the actual F1 2019 game, and now, for season number 3, we enter the 2020 realm. There will be continuity, though, with the first 2 seasons of this series, so the driver transfers and the driver lineups will be continuing on from what you may have seen the end of season number 2. But when it comes to the cars on the grid, we are now very much in the 2020 realm of things. You can see our brand new Williams car here in all its glory. It's really nice to have a fresh lick of paint and just a brand new car for the first time in this series. And I gotta tell you, here at Williams, we had a fantastic launch the other week when we actually first revealed this car.
Oh, what fun we'll have! Squeeze it on and off we go. Crashing twice a day is good for teeth, as we all know.
And when it comes to the performance of this car, I really hope it's going to be as fast acting as Colgate toothpaste here, because obviously we ended off season 2 in a very strong position here. There will be continuity with the R&D. So remember, at the end of season 2, we actually turned this car into kind of a top 5 car on paper. So maybe this might be this season where we start to see some consistent podiums, potentially multiple. I mean, we already had a few race wins last season, but maybe even more, and we could potentially see that glory on the horizon here on this very, very long road here. And as you guys know, on the F1 Road to Glory, my teammate alongside me has been Robert Kubica, and I actually became best mates with him the other day at Barcelona testing. And you've got to remember, if you watched that interview, you had some really sound advice for us here that can take us through into this season.
And it's much easier to drive slower car and be good in PlayStation than driving slow car on track and be good.
So yeah, that is what we're going to do. We're going to take this slow car on the, well, I'm not on PlayStation, I'm on the PC, but you get what he means. On a video game, we're going to take this slow car and do much better. The man, the myth, the legend alongside me in the garage has very much said this out of his own mouth here, so it must be true, so let's go smash it. So here we are then, back in the office then for this 3rd season, and raring to... Oh my god. Who is this? Where is Robert? Where's Rob? Why is Pierre Gasly? Oh lord! All right, lads, come on, be serious here. Okay, who's playing a prank on me? All right, who's got a lookalike of Pierre Gasly in and is put him alongside me here, where Robert Kubica should be? That's where my teammate should be. And right now, Robert Kubica's not sat there. This is some sort of practical joke, right? Oh my! I've actually got Pierre Gasly as my new teammate. They booted out the legend. They booted out the legend, Robert Kubica, and now I've got Pierre Gasly. You guys know what happens when me and Gasly are in the same team. Never anything good. Nothing good comes of me and Gasly together on the Formula 1 games. What happened to my absolute legend? The man who used to take himself out at the back end of last season to give me safety cars to help me win races. Where has he gone? It's I'm really sad. All right, so back in the office, it's literally like going back to school then, with a lot of changes over the break, it would seem. We've got obviously developments coming through from last season. We had a decent amount of R&D points to spend on the car coming into this season, so we got some engine power upgrade. You guys know the mantra here at Williams is just power, power, power. We're going to forget about the aero and the chassis. We'll deal with that later. Number one thing is, in the famous words of Jeremy Clarkson, he knows what he's talking about, okay?
Now, I believe in speed. Power. Power and speed solves many things.
But there are more pressing matters here than the car. Let's forget about that for a second. We've got some driver transfers here. Let's have a look. If we look at the bottom here, Pierre Gasly has moved to Williams. He is indeed my actual new teammate for season number 3. That I thought many things were changing for this season. The car, the performance. I did not think my teammate was gonna change. I've had Kubica since the beginning of this series. He's been an absolute great he's not been a great teammate. He only slightly was kind of good at the end, like I said, because he used to get me safety cars for the last few episodes. But as a whole, okay, I guess it is some sort of improvement. But like I said, Gasly and me in the F1 game never usually ends too well. So I'm a little bit worried at that. I can't lie, but we're just going to have to deal with it. But look at this. We've got Lewis Hamilton moving to Racing Point, replacing Perez. Now, this is quite quaint because obviously in 2020, the Racing Point car is very similar to the Mercedes of 2019. And so going into this brand new season with the 2020 mod on the Road to Glory Series here. Hamilton has moved to Racing Point to basically drive, essentially, the car he was driving last season, which, if you remember, he won the World Championship. It's all a bit too fishy, alright? Real life doesn't have the balls to do this, but the game does. Hamilton, with the 200 IQ plays, he knows the Racing Point car is basically his championship-winning car of last season. So he's made that move very tactically indeed. Perez swaps the other way and goes to Mercedes there to replace him. And George Russell has been signed to Toro Rosso then to replace Gasly. So Russell, I think Russell didn't even have a place on the grid last season there. So he's come out of nowhere to then replace Gasly. And so sadly, Robert Kubica is no more on the grid. It is indeed a very sad time, and so I feel like we should all take a moment to pay respects to my teammates for the last 2 seasons who will now no longer even be on the Formula 1 grid. So here's the scenario then for the beginning of this season. We are now the 3rd best team on the grid. It's almost like the good old days. If Ferrari, Red Bull there, if we weren't there, McLaren would be the 3rd best. And basically back to the old 2010 days, basically. So we're right up there as well. Very decent stuff. Mercedes, the championship winners last season, all the way down in 4th worst there. Only better than the Renault, Alfa Romeo and Toro Rosso. And the Racing Point car is actually the 2nd best Mercedes-powered car. So maybe Hamilton actually had, like I said, a very actual 200 IQ play there, really, to actually swap seats there and get in a faster car maybe for this season. But I mean, you can see there is a little bit of a gap there from Ferrari, Red Bull to ourselves. We're a little bit closer to McLaren Racing Point than we are to the top 2, so there may still be some catching up to do. And of course, as we've seen plenty of times, track to track, it really will be a case of how the car really handles to the circuit. Because remember, on paper, it all looks very good, but you've got to remember, literally, we've spent most of our R&D upgrades all on engine power. You can see how ridiculously good we are at the engine power here on the chart. We're like a good, probably a 3rd more than every team on the engine power. We've actually done every single engine power upgrade now, so the only thing we've got left to do is fuel efficiency and one last ERS upgrade there. So once we've done those, we'll finally get to delve into the chassis side and the aero side of things, where pretty much where we're lacking completely in every kind of sense. You know, we can have a quick car in a straight line, but when we get to circuits where the corners matter the most, we may not be, you know, 3rd place or in terms of the performance compared to every other team. But if you guys watch through Season 2 especially, I think you'll agree the tactic of power, engine power, and just going for that really did work quite a lot of the time, actually, surprisingly, because it's so important on this year's game. So I'm actually feeling pretty damn optimistic here. You know what? We've got Gasly. We know he's going to push us hard. You know he's going to push my buttons a little bit. So hopefully this is the catalyst, maybe along with the brand spanking new 2020 car, to push us ahead to glory here. So happy vibes, happy days as we go to... Oh, for frick's sake, it's raining. Yep, absolutely wonderful. What is it with the start of these series and rain? We started off the series, Season 1, with rain, and we're starting off this brand new era of this series in rain. Absolutely brilliant. Let's hope the car isn't a canoe. Actually, wait, to be fair, you'd want it to be a canoe in the wet. Let's hope it's not a canoe in the wet. Yes. I'd say here we are then, our first lap in anger in this new 2020 Williams car for season number 3. Attacking turn 1 with no sense of what we want the car to be, a boat or not a boat, I don't know, but you can see on the back end there of the corner, losing the rear end as the downforce is not really with us. And again, you know, that issue of having a lot of power does mean the rear wheels do spin up quite a fair bit, especially in the wet. I could definitely feel that straight away. So there are compromises we've made with the mantra of this, but trust me, it will come good later on, I'm sure, and maybe even for the race when it's dry. But right now at the moment, it was very tricky out there to keep this thing in a straight line. Right now though, through the last few corners, we're still up in the top 10 positions right now, losing a bit of time as we go through the last few corners there. P6 at the moment on the exit though, down to P9, bit of a squabble on the rear end there, but we will finish up in the top 10 for our very first qualifying session of this season. I think that's pretty damn decent.
A bit disappointing, but we just need to push hard in the race and we can still come away with something.
What? Oh my god. Okay, no, come on, no. We start a brand new season, brand new car, brand new teammate, and we've still got the good old same absolute nonsense coming out of Jeff's mouth of that. That was a decent qualify. Look at that. Gasly got P8. He beat me in the first qualifying session, but look how close we are there. There's only 300ths between us, and we're only about 5/10 off pole position. I think that's a decent showing, especially because it's wet, so our car definitely wouldn't be the strongest. I think in the dry, our car would have qualified around maybe, you know, P5 to 6, where our car basically is on paper. So I don't know what on earth Jeff's got. Again, I can't be dealing with this. If we're going for a championship fight, this man needs to get a bit more positive in his life. Who hurt him? Please tell me. I would like to know. I mean, did his wife leave him or something like that? He's taking his anger out on me and it's just negative now. I mean, like, get a grip, man, okay? Get back out there, get on Tinder and get a life. Get on with the job here at hand. It's race day now anyway on Sunday. Sunny skies, so maybe a different outlook here for the race head in terms of our race pace compared to what it was in qualifying on those inties. And maybe Jeff might have just woken up on the right side of the bed this morning, but who am I kidding? Probably not. We look ahead to the strategy then, of course, a one-stop here. Pretty simple from the soft to the medium, but the tyre wear will be an issue, I think, on that first set of soft tyres here towards the edge. We're going to need to watch out for that and potentially look into an undercut. It may be quite powerful because the fuel spread is getting closer and closer as we go on. It's definitely closer than it was in Season 2. So just like we've seen maybe in my normal career mode on F1 2019, potentially getting some clean air will be very important as a tactical thing for every single race this season. But either way, I'm just very excited now to get cracking for our very first race in this brand new 2020 car. It just feels a little bit different, you know, having a different look car. You know, obviously the feel of it is going to be better than last year, what we ended up with Season 2 as well. So it's, you know, doubly good in that kind of sense, aesthetics-wise and performance-wise. Raring to go. We've got Gasly here as a new teammate, new era. Really is all change here for Season 3. Let's get going. As here we go then for the very first time this season to 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix. Round number 1, Season 3 is underway of the F1 Road to Glory, and it's a great start there for my new teammate Gasly as he rockets through on the inside there, no pun intended, on the McLaren of Lando Norris. They into turn 1, we have a little look at the McLaren, doesn't work out. In the end, we actually get swamped there, overtaken by Hulkenberg and the new look Haas. We're down to P10. Perez in his new Mercedes car looking on the left hand side. We're going to make a massive dive on Hulkenberg to try and get this position back here. We're going to try and squeeze him. He's going to have a good inside line there. We're going to have to go the long way around. He's going to leave us the room, and we actually get it on the exit there. We power through, and you can see straight away, I think the acceleration there, the oomph from our engine definitely helped us out there. But in the corners already, little bit on higher fuel compared to qualifying already as well. I can just tell maybe we're still going to lack a bit of a front end here that we very much lacked all of last season, really. But you can see closing up, bit of a domino effect here. So the early stage of the race will be very important here as we come through, just about avoiding the wall on the right. You can see we're already closing a bit on the McLaren there. So every straight, we're going to have this, and we're going to actually make a massive dive here. It's a late lunge, and we're going to go side by side with Norris. Oh my God, absolute drama and action here on the opening lap. Almost sent into the wall and the gravel trap there by Lando Norris. We tried to go side by side, and that high speed chicane didn't work out. Hulkenberg once again tactically just catch them napping there, and basically opportunistic as ever, the German. And so we're back down to P10 as we'll try and re-overtake him once more here. But already, you know, getting a little bit feisty here, just trying to feel what the limits of the car are here and the limits of every other driver. Obviously, the other teams have also improved, or maybe not improved as much as others into this season. Just need to see where we are. Of course, McLaren were major rivals of ours last season. So like the saying is in Sunday League football, you've got to let them know you're there early. You know, you go in two-footed tackle, two-footed send, no braking, and you just got to try and, you know, basically measure your opponent. So that time came off worse a little bit, but now we know that Norris might put up a bit more of a fight there. Clearly still no love lost between myself and him and the entire McLaren team from last season. But we go again as we're absolutely wringing the neck out of this car there. You can see through that right-hander going quite wide there, taking the limits of the car and the track there, where we get a great boost off that corner, the end of Sector 1 into Sector 2. Can we make a dive to the inside there? Hulkenberg looks a little bit weak. We're going to go for it there, very close to his front left tyre, but we get the job done up into P9 once more, and now hopefully we can push away and close up that gap now to Lando Norris. But out in the front, in the lead, is Sebastian Vettel, followed by the Red Bull, the checkerboard of actually Ferrari Red Bull there. You can see side-by-side action there between Leclerc and I think that's Alexander Albon. I think Leclerc may have some sort of issue though, as he was very slow through that corner, but that's allowed then the Red Bull to be attacked by the Merc, and Hamilton in his new Racing Point car down the inside. It's 3 wide between Hamilton and the Merc and the Red Bull, and also now closing up is my teammate Gasly and Norris. You got 5 cars all spread within less than 2 tenths there. It's about to get very, very tasty indeed, I think, as we dive down the inside of Lando Norris. Tried to get Pierre Gasly as well with 2 moves for 1. Gasly though, whoa. Gasly, though, very aggressive there, pulls it through back on the inside there, so, yeah, making himself known that he's not going to be a pushover, maybe like Robert Kubica potentially was quite a few times last season, so fair play, obviously first race, so we'll keep things calm for now and civil for now. I don't know how long that will last for, but we'll see. But, yeah, absolutely insane action this would be at the moment so far. That 3 wide was epic. It was also very, very cool to see Hamilton in his Racing Point car attack his old team Mercedes there and have those guys go side by side along with the Red Bull. The 3 wide moment, absolutely epic. But we now chase after and try to keep on the back, because I still think there's some moves to be made here if these guys are caught napping whilst fighting each other. As is clearly seen ahead with Hamilton switching from the left to the right, down the inside of the Mercedes car to get Albon. Meanwhile, we go around the outside of Gasly then and try and catch him napping a little bit, because I think he was too focused on that fight ahead. And so we go the long way around through the right-hander and make a very nice pass. Lock up there, just trying to slow the thing down and just about keep this thing on the track. Gasly follows close behind. He's going to push us hard. And Norris also equally close behind. We need to try and get away, really, not fight too much, because I think Norris definitely has a bit of a faster car here, I think, in general, around this Reading Grand Prix. So we need to watch out for that. But we're actually closing up to Albon, trying to keep up with him there and try and follow suit with Hamilton, because I think it looks like Albon is a little bit weak here and susceptible maybe. So we've got DRS. We close up a little bit more. So it's only a matter of time, I feel. Just need to try and line this up and try and keep close. Get within a DRS range, basically, on that back straight, maybe off the far chicane. And then we can make the move here. And so here we go on that exact back straight on lap number 5, then into the tail end of the lap here. DRS open. Where is Albon going to go? He's going to make the move on Hamilton there. Hamilton defends successfully and keeps him at bay. Albon just unable to make a dive fully and commit to that pass on Hamilton there, and we just really couldn't do anything either. We're just kind of sat there waiting for some space. If I tried to get my nose in, probably wouldn't have ended too well here. But through the final corner, can we try and close up maybe into turns 1 and 2 maybe? DRS open, losing a little bit of time though on the entry. You can see there definitely lacking some downforce versus the Mercedes car there. But across the line, lap number 6, and there goes Albon, late dive, and Hamilton leaves in the room. He's gone wide. Hamilton with a mistake there, and Albon's made contact, and he's slow off that corner. Could this be our chance? DRS open. No, Albon goes for the move on Hamilton. Where are we going to go? We have a look to the inside. It's so frustrating here. We're watching these two fight hammer and tong, but I just don't have the oomph, the kind of the under-braking, the downforce we need just to send one, really. We've got the power, but we just don't have the confidence under-braking quite yet with this new car of ours. As now you can see behind me, the red arrow, proximity arrow, Gasly tried to attack me there. So frustrating times at the moment on lap number 6. I feel like we have the potential to go faster than we are right now, but Albon and Hamilton being a massive bottleneck to us right now, and we're really, it's not just me, we're closing up, all of us behind Gasly, Norris as well. You can see on the minimap there's a massive train forming. So who would have thought it then? The reigning world champion doing what I was doing a lot of last season, pretty much, getting a good start, getting to high points, and then just training our way to the end of the race bases. We get a great exit this time now, second time lucky maybe down this back straight. We both got DRS, but this time Albon did not get enough of a slipstream off Hamilton, so we've gone down the inside on the curb as well and skated through up into P6. And also at the same time, Gasly, you can see, also gets the job done, because I sent Albon so wide whilst I made my overtake, open up the space for Gasly. So unintentional teamwork there. Now we see Hamilton chasing after and overtaking Leclerc, who very much, I'm sure, has an issue there. But oh, we get brake checked by the Ferrari man. I don't know if we have any damage there. We definitely hit his rear end there, as I felt that on the force feedback of my wheel, as Leclerc got all out of shape on the exit there. We're up into P5 now, but already I can tell, I think we definitely have some damage. I think our front wing's a little bit broken there, because through the right-hander, look at that understeer now, completely going off circuit on the rumble strip. So I think we maybe have a little bit of a lime green situation in terms of damage here. But as we move on through this stint, Gasly now with the massive lunge on the inside there. This car is looking pretty damn nifty here, you must say, in this opening round here. Look at it. I mean, it looks absolutely bliss. So much better than last season there. I've said it before in my RL F1 videos, the more serious videos. It is a great livery, to be honest, compared to last year's car. And in the game, it's looking great here in Season 3. I'm happy we've got this livery for Season 3 of Road to Glory. Now, Gasly is now 3 wide with Albon. This is fantastic action here. This is crazy. There's never been this much action in Road to Glory. Usually, it's just been crashing galore. But so far, these guys are keeping it clean and pretty tidy and just having a good fight there. So we're now going to come into the pits now on lap number 7 whilst that's all kicking off here behind us. So good time to maybe get into some clean air. But this may be confirmation for us if we've got any damage, if the pit crew are going to tell us about anything like that. We're going to come in now for a set of medium tires, of course, to the end of the GP then. So it's so far looking good. P5, although if we are going to sustain damage, which I think we are, because you can see here, you might be able to tell in the background there, my engineer's telling me that we have sustained damage. We need to be careful because we might get some more. And you can see in the front left there, it's like lime green, so it's not enough to maybe on the automatic for my engineer to switch that front wing, but it's enough for me to feel some understeer. So we are net P5 for now, but I joked about Hamilton being the one, you know, training cars in the Grand Prix. I think now, ironically, I will have to do that now till the end of the race here and basically do what I did a lot of last season, just limp home basically, because our car is very much damaged, as you can see by that massive tank slapper there. That wasn't just the downforce of the car, that was the damage. I know it's easy to maybe think that's where the car is in terms of grip, I'll give you that much, but no, that was just due to the damage. That's not how bad the car generally is. But we're up into P13, then behind Hamilton now, lap number 9, ahead of Gasly still. But as it stands now in this GP, Vettel leads the way. It's then a 2-3 for the Red Bull cars. Valtteri Bottas, I believe, there in second place ahead of Max Verstappen. Then fourth is Hamilton chasing after his brand new Racing Point car. Then here we are then, limping through corner by corner, going a little bit slow. You can see Gasly is closing up to us slowly but surely, I think, with Lando Norris on his tail. So we have to watch out for this, because I need to think about this cleverly. You know, it's early on, it's early days in this season. I need to watch out. If I'm going to be slow enough where I'm going to back up into Gasly, I need to maybe think about letting Gasly through maybe, which I know is odd, you know. I mean, it's not used to that role, but, you know, needs must right now. You can see Norris attacks Gasly. He's down the inside, so the McLaren clearly has some decent pace. You can see how wide I'm going, so yeah, I am probably going to back into Norris here. There's no kind of if, it's just when it's going to happen, basically, because Norris gets him, and he's going to push on after me. So here we are now, lap 11. We've got 4 laps to go in this GP as we round through the last 2 corners there. The Undis is going to kick through, especially this last corner, so we need to try and watch out for this, try and defend as much as we can, and try and maybe also help Gasly out if we can. We don't have DRS, of course, just overtake mode and rich mix, but that's be enough for us just to maintain the position on Norris, and we move the car in such a way where Norris actually went to the inside of the circuit, and it's meant that as we look back behind us, look at that, Gasly's side by side, because Norris essentially tried to go kind of on the outside of us and left the room on the left for Gasly to just sail around the outside there. So he's made a great move, to be fair, and he's up into P6, and that was my indicator. That move alone was, he's got the confidence, he's got the pace, I need to let him through. You know, let's forget about the bad blood from previous F1 game experiences. Let him through. We need to play the team game. These are important points for the team. This is a new season, new me. We're going to stop being selfish. You know, we don't have Kubica anymore to have a guaranteed man I can just bag on every time and say he's going to be slower than me. You know, Gasly, got to give him a chance here. He's got a bit more pace, surely, than Robert. So I've let him through. We're going to be a good teammate, good sport here for the team, and think about the constructors in mind here. So if we can try and finish up in 5 and 6, that'll be better than trying to finish up in, 7 and 8 if I try and fight Gasly way too hard here, with Norris right behind me as we move on to the last lap of the Grand Prix. He's got a DRS. He's even quicker than last time. We go defensive to the inside. He's going to try round the outside, but we're going to get the elbows out there, go wide on purpose, squeeze them out, and make that car as wide as possible. Park the car on the apex, part of the garage, part of the whole bloody factory back in the UK on every apex here to make sure we get this thing through. Sebastian Vettel will win the first race of this Season 3 of the F1 Road to Glory career mode here, but we come across line for P6 in the GP, Gasly in P5. It's a decent haul of points. I think the team surely got to be happy with that.
Not good enough. Not good enough at all. Let's push harder next time, okay?
Are you actually serious? This man, it's the first episode of this season, and I'm already done with him.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today?
You know, there wasn't much of an issue getting through the traffic there. We've kind of rocketed through with our engine power, our beautiful Rocket-sponsored car. I mean, you can't tell that Rocket have invested more in our car this year, so I'm just happy to be in this rocket ship car, powering through like a rocket ship.
You had a close battle today, didn't you?
Now, see, Claire, I was really hoping for Season 3 you'd maybe go to Specsavers and get some specs, because there wasn't a close battle with Gasly today. I let him through it the first time of asking. I don't know what race you watched there, but you just need to get it sorted.
You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners?
Oh, that was actually just clever marketing tactics here. Of course, we've got a new livery, bit of red and blue and white in there, a bit more prominent. So we just wanted to kind of splash that paintwork across the circuit, get some subliminal messaging. People see those swashes of colours, they think about Colgate, they think about the Williams Formula 1 team, and then they want to support us.
It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't the cleanest race out there, Claire. I attract a lot of idiots. I'm an idiot magnet, really. This is why the team and I are fully behind Brexit. You've got these Italian teams coming over here, brake checking us in the acceleration zone of corners and breaking our front wings. This is why they had to go. Let's forget about the fact we're in Australia right now. They still have to go.
Great. Well, that's everything.
So maybe quite a few things have changed for the team, but some things really never change in the form of Jeff and Claire today, clearly by this episode. But despite their negativity and stupidity, it was a pretty decent episode, I think, for us as a team. You know, 3rd place in constructors to kick things off this season. They're pretty much where we are on paper on the R&D chart, so I think I'll very much take that, basically. We kind of matched what the theory says we should be, but we come through to the end then. I was hoping to kick off with some more upgrades here, but I actually can't afford any upgrades. I literally can't afford any of the majors or any ultimates or anything really on the chassis side of things. So I literally am stuck here with no upgrades for next episode. So that's unfortunate. Hopefully not many teams upgrade. They usually don't into round number 2 of a brand new season. So I think we should be fine. And of course, Bahrain, bit of a power circuit. I think we could have a very fun time there around Sakir. But guys, that has been a fantastic first opening round of season number 3 of the F1 Road to Glory. I think you'll see this season maybe a little bit less comedy, maybe a little less few punch shots at the team, and actually more of a success story as our car gets faster and faster. That's all what the Road to Glory is about. Development, you know, a character arc of the entire team, actual development of how everything progresses, you know, a different vibe now, actual successful vibe, a positive vibe apart from Jeff. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it. And if you did enjoy this one, then be sure to smash that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here to subscribe for weekly full-on content, I've been aarava. Hope you stay. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.